tell us a little bit the cast, because you had a terrific cast, and I mean, you have the three principals are, of course, Arthur, Guinevere, and Lancelot. So talk about those actors.
I think the biggest change in ours is to look at Arthur as a character, which if you're close to the T.H. White book, Arthur is meant to be a young king, a king who is sort of like everybody, and who who is not meant to, he pulls the sword out of the stone and becomes king, but he's not royal in blood necessarily. So he's kind of an everyman, and he's much younger. So with Andrew Burnap, he does an incredibly nuanced, extraordinary job of playing the youthfulness in the king and the everyman quality of him alongside of his more noble, powerful, deeply intelligent work. And then you match that against Philippa Sue, who is well known from Hamilton, and you get a marriage which Aaron makes a more political marriage. So she's forced by her father to make peace with France and to be put into marriage with the king, sort of on purpose. We've seen that happen in royal situations. Happens a lot.
Well, were you thinking perhaps of Charles and Diana? I mean, he says it is a business relationship.
Yes, correct. I wasn't thinking of it I don't think he was thinking of it in terms of Charles and Diana, just more in terms of how often across the history of royalty in Europe, you would do arranged marriages, often as treaties, alliances, to create connections between countries. So she's a kind of a barter with her father, the King of France, to the King of England. And that political arrangement had some impact on how romantic it was or wasn't. And that's very new. That's accentuated in the story that we have. And then Lancelot, a fellow countryman, comes to pledge his allegiance to Arthur, and they fall in love in their own way, or they have a romantic relationship, and it creates a lot of tension within the center of the story.
Well, of course, she feels trapped in the marriage because she realizes he loves another. And that's a parallel with Charles and Diana.
Yes. And, I don't know, trapped in the sense that he doesn't feel like, I think he cares deeply for her, and we learn later that how much he does, but he doesn't feel, he feels kind of responsible for having trapped her in the marriage by having used her as a part of a treaty. So I don't think he feels as comfortable. His previous relationship with Morgan Le Fay was when he was much younger, and has an impact on the story that we're telling.